Wow, that is a pretty amazing golf swing. Lexi Thompson is one of my favorite young players. Totally amazing. Very long off the tee. When I was researching for this video, I saw that last year she hit a drive 359 yards. It looked like she had some wind behind her, but still, she had a 9-iron into a green. And when you're playing golf and hitting the ball that far, it is a tremendous advantage. So I'd like to take a look at her swing and break it down for you guys. This week is the Solheim Cup, and we're rooting for our girls, and I hope Lexi has a wonderful time. But she has one of these amazing swings that really is worth a really good look. Now, I understand she is a student of Jim McLean's, and she has been one of the best players in the country since she was a young girl. She burst on the scene as a young teenager, hitting bombs and shooting scores that put her right up there with the other LPGA pros. Today, she's a veteran. And one of the things that I notice is her swing is very similar to Justin Thomas's swing in the way that they use the ground for leverage and basically jump into their drive. But what you'll see is they have very steady heads, and it's just incredible. So let's watch Lexi's takeaway here. If you notice the swing on the left, we're going to see that she doesn't really move off the ball very much. She's going to move off the ball a little bit. But what you're going to see is tremendous flexibility in these shoulders. If I was trying to do this with a restricted lower body turn, that'd be about it for me, literally. That's about all my shoulders would give me. But if you look at her reach up to the shoulder plane, she's going to get plenty of rotation out of her shoulders. Amazing. Now look how far this backswing goes. That's like crazy. That's pretty long backswing. And look at her shoulders, but as we can see, her left knee hasn't really moved behind the ball very much, so those hips are still staying very quiet. But one of the hallmarks of these young players, that it's interesting that I think McLean let her swing her own way. I know that McLean is an expert in Ben Hogan's swing, but when you have somebody show up that can already shoot under par, you probably don't want to destroy their foundation. As we look down here, she makes her transition. I just love how that club shallows out behind her. If we look at the right. She takes it up. Now watch the right side of the screen. Right here, she is just in a beautiful position. One of the things you'll notice as well is Lexi stands pretty tall at address. And you can see that she doesn't have an awful lot of hip depth or knee flex as she takes it up to the top. She does keep flex in her knee. She doesn't lock it out, but look at that tremendous move right there. That is the key to her swing, in my opinion. She really leverages down into the ground. That head lowers. That heel pops up the ground a little bit, but look at those knees staying super flexed. Now she's going to use all that power in her quads and glutes to rotate those hips. It's going to go up the spine, into her shoulders, and come out through her arms. So here we are, totally loaded. This camera isn't straight down the line, her target line, so she's a little bit open to this camera. But we can see at this point right here, she's going to begin to use her legs for power as she straightens them and jumps off of the ground. Again, very similar to what we saw Justin Thomas doing in my last swing analysis video. Now both legs are straight, but look at her head and her spine. This is something that, although I know that ladies tend to be a little bit more flexible than the men, this makes me a little bit nervous right here. But again, she's flexible enough to create enough space that she doesn't have a problem hitting the ball. Now again, I couldn't do that. I'd never be able to do that, but it's remarkable to watch. Now I want to point out on the left side of the screen here, let's look at this one more time. She has a move that's similar to Thomas Peters that I talked about a little while ago. We're going to watch her left hip move laterally toward the target just a little bit. Not an awful lot, just enough to get some squat going down in her legs. But see where that left hip position is? It's not really going to move forward at this point. She's going to drive that hip backwards as her legs straighten. It's a pretty funky move. It's a holdover move, I think, from when she was smaller and perhaps not as strong. But it generates speed. It's what a lot of long drivers do. So if you're seeing, you know, an LPGA player hit a ball 359 yards off the tee, they're doing something right. And again, you know, that power is a tremendous advantage in the game. Now, although some of these pictures might look a little bit odd as she's following through here, you really don't see them in the full swing when you watch it at regular speed, and I'll show that again. She has a lovely golf swing. She has enough flexibility to make it work for her. So that's one of the reasons why I'm really moving into talking more about, I'm talking about the players that are making an impact right now. And the overwhelming truth is most of them swing in a more modern way, and they really do a great job of getting the ball around the course. So I think it's worth taking a look at. So let's watch her swing one more time in full speed. Wow, that is really cool. Thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication, Lexi. We wish you the very best of luck in the Solheim Cup. And I hope everybody plays well on both sides, because really the competition allows us to elevate ourselves and become greater in our ability to manage our emotions and our games. So it's just a great honor to be able to watch people play at the level that you folks play at. So I hope you like this video. If you'd like to, subscribe to the channel. Real close to passing 30,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody. And hit them long and hit them straight.
It's hard to describe the sound when Mr. Hogan hit a shot.
He had this tenacity about him. It's really the stuff legends are made of.
He was like Michelangelo and Da Vinci. You know, he was an artist with a golf club.
This is Ben Hogan's locker right here, number 50.
He caddied for my dad. That was the beginning of their relationship.
Suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces character.
He knew what was going to happen, and there wasn't anything he could do about it.
Why he actually decided at that point in time to share what he told me, I have no idea.
What I think he did was he applied physics better than everybody else.
Ben Hogan never watched Jack Nicklaus practice, but Jack Nicklaus watched Ben Hogan practice.
People say Hogan won't ever talk to you. Well, Hogan talked to me a lot.